In the small Croatian town of Livno, a boy named Mate Rimac grew up taking apart radios and computers just to understand how they worked. That curiosity followed him into a garage in Zagreb, where in 2006 he raced an old BMW E30, until its engine failed mid-competition. Instead of replacing it with another combustion engine, he tore it out entirely and rebuilt the car around an electric drivetrain. People laughed. Electric cars, back then, meant slow and sensible, golf carts with delusions of grandeur. Mate's converted BMW was the opposite. It set 5 Guinness and FIA world records for electric acceleration, humiliating cars worth 10 times as much. It proved a point that would define his next 2 decades. Electricity wasn't speed's enemy. It might be speed's purest form. He founded Rimac Automobili in 2009, in a country with no automotive industry, no supplier network, no inherited expertise. Every battery pack, motor, and torque vectoring system had to be invented from scratch, because the technology didn't exist anywhere else yet. Building from nothing. The company's first car, the Concept_1, arrived in 2011 as one of the world's first all-electric hypercars. Fewer than 10 were ever built. It was less a product than a flag planted in the ground. For years afterward, Rimac survived by quietly supplying its battery and drivetrain technology to far larger, century-old manufacturers who came asking the Croatian newcomer for help. In 2018, Rimac unveiled a concept called the C_2, with acceleration numbers nobody believed until they were verified. Before it reached customers, it needed a name that matched what it was. They found it in their own coastline's weather. A Nevera, a sudden, violent Mediterranean storm that strikes out of a clear sky and vanishes almost as fast as it arrived. Fitting, for a car built by a company that had appeared from nowhere to strike the industry without warning. What the storm could do. The production Nevera arrived in 2021, limited to 150 handmade units. 4 independent motors, 1 per wheel, produced nearly 1,914 horsepower. In 2023, at a German test facility, it broke 23 performance records in a single day: 0 to 60 mph in 1.74 seconds, a quarter mile in 8.25 seconds, and a run from 0 to 249 miles per hour and back to 0 in under 30 seconds, something no production car, gas or electric, had ever done. It later set hill climb and lap records at Goodwood and the Nürburgring. The curious part is that it isn't a blunt instrument. Onboard software recalculates the exact torque sent to each wheel more than 100 times per second, reading the road and the driver faster than any human nervous system could react. It can drift with precision or glide gently like an ordinary luxury car. And unlike most electric hypercars, it was engineered to survive repeated hard laps without losing power, built for endurance, not just a single dramatic sprint. The unexpected twist. Every good story has a complication. Despite the records and headlines, the Nevera sold slower than planned. Only about 50 of the 150 units found owners in its first 3 years. Mate Rimac's own explanation was almost philosophical. He compared it to mechanical watches. A smartwatch can do more, objectively, than a hand-wound Swiss timepiece, yet people still pay fortunes for the mechanical one, because they're buying soul and tradition, not just capability. By the time the Nevera reached driveways, electric cars had gone mainstream, and hypercar buyers, it turned out, wanted to stand apart from the mainstream, not join it. The answer: rather than retreat, Rimac doubled down. In 2024 came the Nevera R, stripped of any pretense of being a mere grand tourer and rebuilt as an unapologetic track weapon, with more power, a lighter battery, and greater downforce. It broke every one of the original Nevera's own records. 0 to 60 mph fell to 1.66 seconds, and top speed pushed past 260 miles per hour, briefly making it the fastest production electric car in the world. Only 40 would ever be built. In one of the story's most poetic turns, the old guard eventually came calling. Bugatti, with over a century of automotive heritage, merged its future with Rimac's, forming Bugatti Rimac.